All right, everybody, welcome back to the Lap by Lap show. My name is Austin McConnell. Thank you for joining me here today. Make sure you're subscribed on Spotify and YouTube, and also follow me on X at amcconnell0423 so we can talk NASCAR 24/7, 365. Today, we are breaking down the in-season challenge. Yay, round 2 in the books. We just hit Chicagoland this past weekend. Now we head to Echopark Speedway for the second time this season. This should get interesting because I said it when we filled out the in-season bracket. We talked about how much of a wild card it was and how much of a mistake it was to use round 1 at Echopark last season. I mean, that was the real bracket buster. Still kind of started with a wild card this weekend at Sonoma. SVG was the 14 seed, but technically, if we're starting at Sonoma, he should have been like a top 5 seed. Probably the 1 seed, just because he wins it. But now we head to a mile and a half, and we'll take a look at the matchups that went down. We'll start on the left side of the bracket. If you don't have it in front of you, make sure you pull it up if you want to go along with me. For the listeners, I will break it down as vividly as I can. 32 seed Bowman beats the 16 seed of Cindric. As I talked about in my Chicagoland review on Monday, Cindric led some laps at Chicagoland. Didn't really have the car to go up there and finish inside the top 5, really. And Bowman did, because Bowman is very solid at Chicagoland. He's very solid on the mile and a halves in general, but there's something about Chicagoland that he's just good at. So, big top 5 there for Alex Bowman. He advances over Austin Cindric, and the 32 seed for the second year in a row is making another run. It's pretty impressive that back-to-back years, the 1 seed was eliminated in round 1, and then the 32 seed just went on to continue finishing better than his opponent and actually competing for a couple rounds. Ty Dillon, the 32 seed last year, beats Denny Hamlin by just finishing the race at Echopark in round 1. Goes all the way to the championship, loses to Ty Gibbs at the Brickyard. Bowman, already into round 3. He's matched up against Gilliland at Echopark Speedway. I could see it happen if he has a good race. Or if Gilliland wrecks. Who knows? Speaking of Todd Gilliland, the 25 seed, he beats Carson Hocevar, which was probably the upset of the night this past weekend. I guess you could say Bowman over Cindric, but I don't know. I wouldn't call that an upset at Chicagoland. So the biggest upset was definitely the 25 seed over the 9 seed. Hocevar obviously had issues with Zane Smith, Gilliland's teammate on Sunday night, where Zane Smith tried to take him out and ended up spinning himself out. What was that quote that when Danica Patrick tried to wreck whoever it was, Brian Vickers, I think it was, and somebody said, if you're, rule number 1 of stock car racing, if you're going to wreck somebody, don't wreck yourself. Well, it's kind of what Zane Smith did. I did break down a lot of the incidents from the weekend on my Chicagoland review that I posted on Monday, so make sure you go tune into that to hear my thoughts on that. Talked about Larson spinning, the SVG issue with Austin Hill, talked about all that, but today we're looking forward, and Hocevar will not be moving forward, but Todd Gilliland will be. He'll be matched up against Alex Bowman. The Fords have been pretty solid at Echopark Speedway since the repaving of the mile-and-a-half track in Hampton, Georgia, but Ford as a whole just hasn't been that great this year, but neither has Chevy. It's been the Toyota show so far, so we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. We'll see who really can step it up and carry their car manufacturer's badge on their chest with pride. Looking down one more, Chase Briscoe technically upsets Ty Gibbs, a 12 over the 5, but if you watch March Madness and fill out the brackets, you should always be selecting the 12 over the 5, or at least one of the 12 over 5 matchups. And we get one here. so not too surprising. Briscoe obviously gets the win at Chicagoland. Ty Gibbs has a pretty solid day. It wasn't that bad of a race for him. He finished 8th, had 38 points. Okay, pretty normal day. But he ran inside the top 10 for most of the day. That's what Toyota's been doing this season. They've just been consistently inside the top 5, top 10, or winning. Moving on down, 20 seed Michael McDowell loses to 4 seed Chase Elliott. So it'll be the Chase versus Chase match down in round 3. Chase Briscoe versus Chase Elliott at Echopark Speedway. Briscoe finished 2nd at Echopark in the 2nd race of the season earlier this year. However, Chase Elliott won this race last summer. The last night race we did at Echopark last year. He made the pass on the last lap, got around Keselowski, and wins. So can he do it again? Might need some help, because Chevy, once again, continues to struggle. But maybe Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman can push each other to the win, finish 1-2, and then match up against each other in round 4, the final 4, next week at North Wilkesboro. Other side of the bracket, Denny Hamlin takes down Eric Jones. Eric Jones had an okay day. Had some flashes near the top 10, top 5-ish. Not really, but more like top 10. Had a good run pretty much going, and then ends up coming home 15th. Obviously, Hamlin finished 3rd. Hamlin got in the wall there. I didn't mention this in the Chicagoland preview on Monday, but Hamlin kind of got in the wall in the closing laps. So, luckily for him, he didn't have like a tire go down from that or something where he would have probably stayed around Reddick. Probably he still would have been in front because Reddick retired from the race earlier. But Hamlin with the win over Jones. Sorry about that. I'm getting a text message. He'll match up against Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell becomes the ultimate Christopher in the NASCAR Cup Series for this season, at least this week. He beats Christopher Buescher, the 10 over the 7. It's funny. Over here is like all chalk right now. The 2 seed beat the 31 in round 1. The 15 beat the 18. The 7 beat the 26. And the 10 beat the 23 seeds. Pretty normal. That's about what you should expect. And then you get the 10 over 7 matchup going into round 3. So Bell will drive against Denny Hamlin. Now I'm just thinking about March Madness the more I talk about the bracket. This is going to be the best matchup of the 3rd round. Hamlin versus Bell. Hamlin isn't lucky enough on road super speedway style racing. Bell has had a couple good looks, but I can't remember the last time he won a super speedway race, if he ever has in the Cup Series. So that'll be an intriguing matchup. 2 very strong Toyotas going at it, teammates. We'll see who comes out on top. And then down here, William Byron and Ryan Blaney. The 11 seed of William Byron beats the 6 seed of Kyle Larson. I would have liked to see that one play out. But Kyle Larson spun. He spun out. Got stuck in the grass. Ruined his day. William Byron had a great run. Top 5 finish. Good for him. He moves on. He'll take Ryan Blaney, the best Ford probably all season. The only real Ford who's had a chance at actually winning on speed alone. Blaney beats SVG, who had an exciting weekend. And so he's moving on to face William Byron, which I think will be a great matchup. If William Byron can continue this momentum, he could give Ryan Blaney some issues. But like I said, Ford has been pretty solid at Echopark Speedway since the repaving. So we'll see. Let me know what your guesses and predictions for the matchups for this weekend are down in the comments. And I look forward to watching it alongside with you guys. Thanks for tuning into the Lap by Lap show. Be sure to follow on Spotify, YouTube, and Twitter at amcconnell0423. X, not Twitter. amcconnell0423 so we can talk NASCAR 24/7, 365. Thank you for tuning in. Be good, everybody.